Panther Nation, Draft Family, what's good with y'all? Welcome back to another entry into the Sauna Walk series. And today we're going to take a look at Mike Davis. Yes, Mike Davis had a monster year this year. But before we get into that, you know I got to do it. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you get in the comments everything to help us get to 5,000 subscribers by the draft, okay? We're moving along pretty well. Getting a lot of new subscribers, man. So make sure, welcome to the family. And make sure y'all do what y'all got to do to get this algorithm popping, all right? That being said, let's go ahead and jump into Mike Davis. Mike Davis, like I said, had a monster year. But before we get into it, I want to make sure I give the backstory of how he became a Panther because it's pretty interesting. Had an interesting journey, and then we're going to jump into whether we should sign or let him walk, all right? All right, Mike Davis. He was drafted originally by the San Francisco 49ers in the 2015 draft in the 4th round, all right? He backed up Carlos Hyde's rookie season and only rushed for 58 yards and had 38 receiving yards, okay? In his sophomore season, he followed that up with 50 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, and 25 receiving yards. However, he was released after not being able to, after the 49ers were not able to find a trade partner, okay? They couldn't trade him, so they ended up letting him go. Soon after he was let go from the 49ers, the Seahawks scooped him up, and then they waived him. They waived him, and then they re-signed him again to the practice squad, all right? At some point during that season, he was activated to the main roster, and he finished the 2017 season with 240 rushing yards to go along with 15 receptions for 131 receiving yards, okay? Then he became a free agent in 2018, but the Seattle Seahawks re-signed him. He finished that season with 514 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 34 receptions for 214 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Then, in 2019, he finally got somewhat of a commitment, okay? He finally got a little bit of commitment from the Chicago Bears for them only to release him in 12 games, okay? He signed a 2-year deal, $6 million deal with the Bears, and after 12 weeks, they released him, okay? And that's when your boys scooped in, okay? That's when the Panthers scooped in, claimed him off waivers, and listen, he didn't do much in that 2019 season. He appeared in about 5 games, but didn't do much, kind of cleanup duty or whatever. No real stats to kind of speak of, okay? But then in 2020, he was supposed to just be a backup. He was just supposed to back up C-Mac. C-Mac's going to come in, put on a show, but C-Mac went down in week 2, okay? He went down in week 2, opened up a window of opportunity for Mike Davis, and what'd he do? Take advantage, okay? He took advantage of that opportunity, finished the season with 642 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 373 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, and this marked the first time he reached 1,000 all-purpose yards, okay? Amazing. Round of applause for Mike Davis. Finally got a chance to show off what he can do, and I'm proud of him, man. He had a really good season this season. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you guys something here, okay? Because if you look at his stats, it's very interesting if you dive into the numbers. Again, you guys know I'm a numbers guy. I like to dive into numbers. I like to see, compare things. And I found an interesting stat here. All right, so let's put the numbers up, okay? And you can see we're going to go back to C-Mac. C-Mac had an awesome season 2019. The Panthers team themselves didn't do so well, but C-Mac had an amazing season, okay? He had an amazing season, 2,000 plus all-purpose yards. But look at the attempts. He had 287 rushing attempts and 116 receptions, okay? That's very important because Mike Davis this year had about half of that opportunity. And we just talked about Mike Davis's his attempts and all that stuff. It's about half of that. You can see it on the screen right here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to extrapolate those numbers to give Mike Davis those same touches, okay? If you give Mike Davis the same touches that C-Mac had, after averaging 3.9 yards a carry this year, he would have had 1,119 yards rushing yards, okay? And if he would have ran the ball 287 times. Okay, pretty solid, right? After averaging 6.3 yards per reception this year, Mike Davis did, he would have had 730 receiving yards for a hypothetical total of 1,849 all-purpose yards, okay? I say that to say, we can all agree that Mike Davis is not as talented as a C-Mac, okay? We can all agree on that. But what I'm saying is it's all about opportunity. If you give Mike Davis that opportunity, those numbers would look very similar, okay? Really close, okay? Within a nice margin of error, okay? I say again, it's all about opportunity and touches. Again, the Panthers were a bad team. If you give Mike Davis those same touches, Mike Davis had to split. He split carries with Rodney Smith and Trenton Cannon the entire season, something that C-Mac did not do. Okay, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, all right? Now, I just want to throw that up there. Just interesting stat. I'm not trying to make this a C-Mac debate, but it's interesting if you look at the numbers. Now, let's jump into these categories and decipher whether we should sign Mike Davis or let him walk. All right, let's kick it off with age. Mike Davis is 27 years old. We all know that the running back cliff is 30 years old. 30 years old is when the running backs seem to deteriorate, and that's when they're pretty much done. Okay, so he's still in his prime. He's got a little more tread on the tire, so I ain't mad at that. Position of value, the running back is not a position of value. It is not. So we all know that. I don't need to regurgitate what we already know. Okay, so no, it's the running back position can be replaced by undrafted free agents and in the draft. We know it. We know that. All right. Durability, no major injuries to worry about, no ACL tears, none of that stuff. So he's absolutely durable. Asking price for me, asking price, anything over the veteran minimum is too much for a running back. Okay, we already got $16 million per year tied up in C-Mac, so we cannot afford to pay running backs on the roster any more money. Okay, it's just period. No more large investments into the running back position. So we're good there. So that's just, it is what it is, just due to that C-Mac contract. Had that C-Mac contract not been on the books, I would have felt a little more comfortable spending maybe $6-7 million. Because that's what he's gonna get, around $6 or $7 million on the open market. Okay, so I'm cool. I'm not cool with anything other than the vet minimum, period, for the running back position, just because of the C-Mac contract. All right. Now let's get into this production. Is his production replaceable? The answer is yes. We have Rodney Smith on the roster. We have Trenton Cannon. Both of those guys look good this year. And listen, it's all about opportunity. We went through this exercise already. I showed you the touches. You got to give the guys touches. The more touches they get, the more opportunity they get, the better the numbers are going to look. It's just a fact, okay? So it's just a matter of opportunity, all right? So, yes, his production can be replaced. Now that leads to the ultimate question. Do we sign or let Mike Davis walk? And the answer is we have to let Mike Davis walk. Unfortunately, he made himself a lot of money this year. He went out, he did his thing, he showed the NFL that he is a dual threat. He can run, he can catch out the backfield. So I feel like Mike Davis should get paid somewhere, preferably a winner, a team that's on the way up, going to the Super Bowl, in the playoffs every year, and they just need that running back. And I think there's a lot of teams that could use a Mike Davis, and I think he'll go to that team and he'll get himself paid. I think he's going to get around I would say $6 to $8 million on the open market per year, and that's just too much for the Panthers. So again, I love Mike Davis. He's got a good story, talking about his dad passing away and all that stuff. He's got a really good story. So I'm cheering for Mike Davis, and I hope he gets paid. But unfortunately, we just cannot afford to sink more money into the running back position. All right. That being said, that's all I got for Mike Davis. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I drop a video. It's random, could happen at any moment. Hit the notification bell and get in the comments, man. Let me know. I didn't want to turn this into a C-Mac discussion, but hey, if you in your feelings about C-Mac, let me know, all right? That being said, I'm out. Peace.